Dave, would you like to come and say a few words?
I'd just like to say, wow. And this is really amazing to me to see everybody's faces and for everybody to come here and express their love and appreciation for her is amazing. And it's just amazing to me to be a part of this. So I know for Shauna, she would hate to see everybody in tears right now. So we have to figure out a way to lighten this up quickly. But I do want to, yeah, Chuck, you definitely make me laugh every time I look at you. So I'll know where to go. If I need to laugh, I'll just go here. So, but I wanted to say, I guess as from a coaching background, I guess when you have loss like I've had, and each time I coached a game, if I would lose, I would always evaluate that and think what could I have done better. What can I do? I guess how can I make things? How can we get better? How can we grow? How can we improve? And I think about that as a team, and I think about that now. And one of the things that I loved about Shauna, and it's amazing because our at the end here, there's so many people I want to thank too. And obviously I didn't write anything, so I'm going to just drift a little bit. So bear with me. But I do want to thank two people in particular, and they happen to be the two physicians that were with me at the very end. And that's Elizabeth, who was with me, and also Andy, who was with me. And they allowed me to stay in the moment so that I could watch her when she took her final breaths. And that meant a lot to me, because had I not had them there, I probably wouldn't have been able to handle that as well as I was able to. So thank you very much for that. I'm trying to think of the words to say what I want to say now, but I've seen this movie this week 3 times, much against my mom's wishes, because she wanted our whole family to go watch it. And it's a movie called Avatar, and everybody's seen it, or maybe you haven't. I don't know if you have or not. But it has a very tribal flavor to it. In other words, there's a lot of spirituality to it. And those who know Shauna and myself know that we're not deeply religious people, but I would say that we're more spiritual people. And one of the things they talk about in the movie was a network of energy that connects us all living things. And I think that's true. And I think we're all connected by that energy. And I think she was part of that energy. And that her energy that is no longer in her body has now moved on. But I also would like to think that all of us have benefited from that, and that her energy that is no longer in her body is within us all. And it keeps us all connected. Excuse me. It keeps us all connected. One of the favorite lines in the movie that I'll close with, and is there's a line that says, "I see you." And what it basically means is that I see not just you in front of me, but I see into you. It's within you. And I think that's what I want to say to everybody here. Thank you so much for coming, because I see you.
I'm a little short of Dave. Okay, thank you. We weren't sure. Dave didn't know until now whether he really wanted to speak or not, so we left that open, which is why it wasn't on the program. Before I offer my real closing remarks, let me remind you all that at the conclusion of the formal portion of the celebration, you may either remain in the auditorium to watch the documentary To Pay Our Way with Words by Brian Lindstrom, which features Shauna and the program Writing on Portland, or move out to the lobby to visit with family and friends at the reception. To honor Shauna's spirit, we encourage you to introduce yourself to a few new people. Once we do start the documentary, please try to keep the doors closed between the lobby and the auditorium so those watching the film can hear its words. Those of you who've spent enough time in this auditorium know that sound travels pretty well. Please remember, if you can, to complete your memory cards and put them in the basket provided to them by the front door. I'm going to go off cuff here for a second, which I hadn't planned to do. Most of you know that Shauna and I went to the Galapagos together. Okay, maybe I shouldn't do this. Where's the funny faces? Okay. Last May. And really, honestly, it was one of the best vacations. Okay. I'm all good now. It was one of the best vacations of my life, and I've had some doozies. I'm very fortunate in that way. And I can't even begin to tell you all the things I remember about that trip. But one of the things I remember the most is about 10 days before the trip, when Shauna and I were out getting some tea and doing some last-minute shopping for things we thought we desperately needed. And Shauna said she was kind of worried about the trip. And I said, are you worried about being sick? And, it was a time we weren't sure about what chemo she was going to be on, and we were trying to time it, and I was working with her doctors and all that kind of stuff. But she said, well, I'm a little worried about that, but not really, because you're going to be there, and I know you're going to make sure that I'm taken care of. I'm really worried I'm going to slow you down. And I'm worried that you're not going to enjoy the trip because you're going to be worried about me. And honestly, that was Shauna to a T. And I just really wanted you to hear that story, because that was what it was. The best part of the story, I had a little trouble keeping up with her. She did everything on that trip that anyone else did. She went on hikes for hours, she snorkeled, we didn't climb the 600 and whatever many stairs up to the top of Bartolome Island, which is where they filmed Master and Commander, yeah. But we looked at them. I didn't want to climb them either. But really, that was an amazing journey that we took together in more ways than I'll ever be able to count. And I'm very grateful for having been able to take that trip with her. So I'd like to thank everyone who read, spoke, or performed music. I really would particularly like to thank the Strings Group, who did an amazing job, and it's, as Peggy said, one of the many things that brings our community together here at Catlin. Thank you to all who have traveled from near and far to join us in this celebration of life for Shauna Berglund-Immel. We hope this afternoon has offered each of you new insights into this wonderful, talented, loving, and fun woman. I gotta keep looking at the underwear. In Judaism, when we speak of one who has died, we say, Zichrona livracha, which means, may her memory be a blessing. May we all be blessed for many, many years to come by our memories of this extraordinary woman who touched so many lives. Let us all carry the light of Shauna's candle onward to offer our kindness and to remove darkness and pain. Thank you all.